Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Her Story Podcast, where we believe that every story holds strength, healing, and purpose. Tonight, I am super excited for Her Story Podcast. We are sitting tonight for the very first time with our very first male guest. I am so excited for Phillip Cheeks, who is on camera with me on tonight, and we're excited to learn about his story, his journey, and he's going to take us for a ride, y'all. He's going to tell us some things, some great things that he has going on, and some things for what led to the path that he is on now. So welcome, Mr.
Thank
Cheeks.
you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, you are very welcome. And thank you for being bold and courageous enough to be
Absolutely.
on the Her Story podcast, because we're centered around supporting and helping women. But it's more than women who are out there who needs the support and the help.
Absolutely.
And so that is what we're trying to expand to, the place where we can support everyone and talk
Absolutely.
to everyone and share everyone's story, because every journey matters, every story matters, and it encourages someone. So I
Absolutely.
am 100% sure that this feature tonight will inspire and will encourage the listeners. So without further ado, I will give it to you to introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and tell us a little bit about you.
All right. Well, my name is Phillip Cheek. I am 28 years old. I am from a little city, little town called Ramsville, North Carolina. If you blink, you will miss it. Um, um, I am a pastor. I love Jesus. I love God and the things in which He's done for me. We'll talk about tonight. But I'm just, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I am a healthcare recruiter. Um, I've done a lot of things. I've dived into a lot of things, but nonetheless, I'm grateful to be here tonight. I'm grateful to be here tonight. Grateful to be
Awesome.
here tonight.
Awesome. And we are definitely glad to have you here tonight. So, as we get to know who you are, and I know we will uncover more about who you are and the strength behind your journey and your purpose. So, let's just get right into some things. And what, because, everyone is on a journey,
Correct.
regardless of, what they've gone through or what they're dealing with, where they're trying to go. Everyone is on a journey, and we all
Absolutely.
have our paths. So, what in your life right now, what has positioned you to a place where there is a story now behind, the steps that you've taken on your journey?
Wow. That is very much so a loaded question. It derives back to, and I tell everybody this, it derives back to college. College. Um, I knew who God was, but I was not saved. And so
Mhm.
college, it was like I was able to kind of do what I wanted to do, have the most fun that I possibly could. I became an alcoholic in college.
Wow.
I
And
became
you're young still.
Right, became an entire alcoholic in school. I mean, it took a bottle to wake up, and then I would drink that bottle the entire day and lay down. Like it was something serious, especially never to have tasted alcohol before I started school.
Wow.
And so doing all those things, but it even kind of goes back further than college. I had a testimony before I even went to school. The year that I had turned 18, um, I had died on my living room floor for 25 minutes, no oxygen to the brain, nothing. And I was slated to go to Lee University in Tennessee, and we could dive back into that story. I'm pretty sure you want to ask about it, but went to Lee University. I was slated to go to Lee University in Tennessee, and my mom was like, "No, you can't go that far. I need to make sure I can get my hands on you in the event that something else like this transpires."
Hmm.
And so I went to Shaw University in Raleigh, and I spent some years there. And then that's when it's like I was like, okay, I got a testimony, but that's a testimony. I'm about to enjoy myself in school. And
Hmm.
sure enough, it's like I disregarded everything that God had done for me while knowing Him, while knowing who He was. I still denied His power. And
Wow.
it's crazy because in school, people would get me to sing and people would get me to do different things. And I wasn't a preacher or pastor then, but I just people would just give me to sing. Singing is what I was known for. And while still operating in the things of God, I still had not made that commitment to serve Him.
Mm.
And good God Almighty, so it kind of was hypocritical in a sense because I knew of who He was, but I did not want to serve Him. And mind you, He had done so much for me, but yet and still, it did not stop me from doing what I wanted to do. And then pushing on out of college, and um, I had quit school and I had came home and wound up having a child. And this at this point in life, I am a minister in a church, have a baby out of wedlock, and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Like the church is about to throw me away. Like, what am I going to do? I got set down for an entire year. Couldn't pray, couldn't sing, couldn't preach, couldn't do nothing. And that was the death of me. And it was in that moment I told God, I said, listen, when I get up from here, we gonna turn this thing around. And sure enough, I have been running for God ever since. Ever since. Um, and yeah, I got married to the lady that I had the child with. I got married. It was a beautiful marriage. The love was there, things of that sort. Um, and one day I had got a phone call, and that phone call was like, hey, can you step outside real quick? And I stepped outside and, she was like, hey, this was a simple question. I'm pretty sure people have been transparent on here, so I'm just going to be
Oh,
transparent with
yes.
you guys.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
but she was just like, hey, who have you slept with? And I was just like, what? I laughed. I chuckled it off like, girl, quit playing with me. Like, I ain't got time. I'm trying to get done what I got going on. And she's like, no, like for real, who have you slept with? And then she told me like some things that she had going on in her body that she had went to the doctor and found out. And I told her with a straight face, I was like, I have not slept with anybody. And come to find out, I did go and get tested as well, and I did not have anything, which I knew I didn't because I hadn't slept with anyone. So that is what kind of ended our marriage. She never told the truth about it, which is what kind of ended it as well. I believe for me to be able to go to a counselor, um, we should be able to counsel the truth. But if we're telling lies, we can't counsel lies. And so
Absolutely.
that's how I have ended up to be the man that I am today. Um, yeah, that's how I ended up to be the man I am today. It's a lot to unpack. It's a bag that has to be unpacked, but it's that's how I ended up being the person that I am.
Wow, that is a lot to unpack. That's a lot. And you were saying in one part, you were saying you set yourself down for a year, after all, you had been dealing with and going through, you sat down. So did you sit yourself down at that point, or, did the pastor say, hey, you know
Yeah,
what?
my bishop was like, yeah, I'm sitting you down. Um, but when I came to him to have the conversation, I said, I feel as though I need to sit down. When I said it, did I really mean that I felt like I should have been sit down? Probably not. Probably not. Um, but for him to agree, I was like, dang, I might not should have said that. But he most definitely he set me down for an entire year. There was no like, you can get back up at this point, you can get back up at that point. Oh, you've been sat down long enough, I'll put you back up. No, it was none of that. It was none of that. My restoration process was literally for an entire year.
Hmm.
I was the first person he ever had to do it to. And I probably was the last because everybody saw how bad it was. But I mean, did I believe that it needed to take place? Absolutely. Do I believe that it made me the person that I am now? Absolutely. And now that I am in that pastoral role, pastoring other people, now it kind of shows me like what will jog people back in place and get them back right on the right track.
Right.
Um, so I'm grateful. I sit up underneath that leadership till this day. I had some many
Man.
days that I cried, but I sit under that
Mhm.
leadership to this day. Um, but we had some times, we had some
I'm
days.
sure. I bet. And it's a good thing. It's like you said, you wouldn't be who you are now if you had not gone through that. And see, that's the thing with a lot of Christian people, us, my mom's an overseer,
Okay,
and she, at some point in her journey had to sit herself down. And she
yeah,
told me this. And she told all of us that she's not ashamed of it because she was at a place. of mental exhaustion and dealing with things and not quite understanding things. So she had to put herself in position to hear from Christ, to say, to know when to be obedient enough to say, you know what, I need to step back
Yeah.
and let God do what he needs to do
Yeah.
in me and in the house.
Yes.
So I think that there is power in choosing and deciding to be obedient and sitting down for a moment so that God can teach us and train us and pour into us what we need, because he knows way further than we do in our journey,
Absolutely.
the things, the people that we will encounter. And like you said, now you're in a pastor role and you can see how to minister to people and how to guide them, especially if it's a place where you need to put them in isolation for a while so that they can hear from Christ. So I
Absolutely.
commend you for that. That takes
Thank
strength.
you. Thank you.
It
It
takes
was very,
strength.
it takes a lot of strength to know that you have a calling on your life and it feels as though you've been put in a box to where you cannot operate. Um,
Mhm.
and no lie, the real life feelings, if you desire to be transparent tonight, rebellion would want to rise up in you,
Of
stubbornness would
course.
want to rise up in you. Um,
Yes.
the spirit of self would want to rise up in you.
Hmm.
Pride would want to rise up in you. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things that would come up in those moments. Like, who are they to tell me? I mean, they ain't my mama nor my daddy. Like, you that rises up in
It's
you to be
true.
like, I understand what I did, but God is a forgiving God, so why can't you be the same way?
Hmm.
Those questions always rose up, but then God was like, yo, I am a forgiving God and I have forgiven you. But the people that come behind you don't need to believe that they can just do what they want to do, go out here free, nilly willy, and do what they
Absolutely.
want to do, and think that it's easy just to come back and get in space like that. There's
Absolutely.
sometimes your actions will cause people not to receive you.
It's true.
It will cause people not to receive you. And after that, after that year, the first time I got back up, he let me preach the day of the end of the year, the day of the ending of that year that I was set down. When
Wow.
I tell you I was so built up,
I can imagine.
oh
I can imagine the word that was poured out of you that day.
my
Oh my
goodness. But
goodness.
yes, that's what made me who I am.
That's awesome. So now that you're at this place, and even let's rewind just a little bit even before
Mhm.
that. So had there been any encounters in your life where you felt like just quitting, just giving up and saying, you know what, I'm done. I don't want to try anymore. Did you encounter those moments?
Yes. As a pastor that pastors a church plant, let's talk about that. I didn't inherit someone else's ministry. I was one of the people that God said, yo, I want you to throw your net on the other side again.
Mhm.
I want you to throw your net out. And I was that one that said, but God, like, I've been doing this all day. Like, there's nothing coming in. And God's like, just throw your net out again. And at thy word, I threw the net out.
Mm.
um, and I don't brag about what God has called me to do. I am the most humble pastor that I know. But I tell people all the time, when you are real for God and you don't mind sharing with people what God brought you through and brought you out, He will make your name great.
Yes. Yes.
And it's one thing when you do it, it's another thing when God does it.
Yes.
And so, God has just been making the name great. And as He makes my name great, there are calls to be more responsibility.
Hmm.
And sometimes in those moments, I am like, God, please, like I'm done. Like I will go in and I am preaching hard and giving people the word of God in which God has given to me. And I say, yo, I I can go and sit underneath somebody else's ministry and make somebody else's ministry great. I don't have to I don't have to lead people that I feel like are stubborn and because God leads me to take them to a place they've never been before, they knock and kick against the grain. I said, I am choosing to do this because God has not only called me, but He's chosen me to do this work. And people are just like, you know, I was raised in the holiness church back in the
Oh,
day
yes.
with the
Yes, yes,
hardwood
yes.
floors, not such good musicians,
Yes.
washboards and maracas, and
Hmm.
people going straight for broke as the concern. God did not have a time limit on how long church should be. You've seen real miracles, real signs, real wonders, and now the church of today,
Different. Oh gosh.
whoa,
Very
what?
different.
I mean, the church of today will, if church is too long, they will get up and head out the door.
They will.
Um, and
They
so
will.
there are moments like that, and of course, after the divorce, um, the way that God had that thing orchestrated, it was crazy because the month in which I found out was the month that I had taken my sabbatical. So I took a sabbatical for an entire month in the month of August.
Mhm.
And so the week that I found out was the first week in August. So I didn't have to worry about bleeding on my people for an entire month. And by the last Sunday of August, when I tell you that God had got me together, I believe that first Sunday that I was back in September, I cried. I mean, I cried bad while preaching from a hurt place.
Mhm.
That's a different story for a different day, but
Mhm.
preaching from a hurt place. And my church kind of, they just surrounded me and stripped me. It was like, yo, we're here. Like we understand. We're here. This is we're here for this. This is what we're here for. We're here for it. And God is like, He just kind of repaired me, put me back together. He repaired that broken place. It's like as I was doing His will, He was creating in me a clean heart. He was taking out those broken things and not taping them back up, but He was creating replacements. He was creating, filling voids
Yes.
and putting things in places that was left open, things that were left unanswered. He was answering them through other people. It's like He was repairing that which was broken and looked like it was impossible to repair. And
Mm.
so, how some people say, I am beyond repair, but it's like God said, no, 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 no. You may be beyond repair. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace it. And
Mm.
His
That's good.
replacement was far more greater than anything that He ever could have repaired.
That
Oh
is
my
awesome. I
God,
love
today.
it. You're
It
gonna have
was
church.
far
We're
more
gonna have
greater
church
than
on this podcast tonight. I'm telling you.
it was far more greater than anything He could ever repair. And so I don't ever now look at any situation as though God is going to fix it, God is going to repair it. I tell myself every time that I get into a snag, a hiccup, a mess up, God is going to replace it. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's materialistic. I don't care if it's spiritual. I don't care if it's within my life, within my mind, within my heart. I got a feeling that God is going to send a replacement to fill
Hmm.
the void. And I tell myself to this day, my mom asked me, she said, will you ever get married again? And I told her, I looked at her, I smiled, and I chuckled a little bit. And I said, God's going to send a replacement. He's
Mm.
not going to
That's
repair
good.
that which He's already removed. He's not going to repair that which has already been broken. He's not going to repair that which we feel has already been destroyed. He is going to send a replacement.
That is out. That's good. That is
God
good.
Almighty, God Almighty.
That's good. Oh, I love it. I love it. And you said you are used to church from back in the day. Holiness.
Yes, yes,
Holiness. When
yes.
people had church for real, when people loved God for real and they feared God for real.
Yes. I mean,
Now,
you roll up in the parking lot and it's like, okay, something's going on in there. Let's hurry and get
mm,
out the car and get on in there. Come on,
ready.
let's
Yes.
do what we gotta do. In church all night, having two services on Sundays, having school the next day. Parents didn't care nothing about us going to school and
Hmm.
getting education. And then
Exactly.
they felt like with the help of God, they're gonna get that education.
It's so true. And church is so different now.
It's so different.
So
So different.
different. It's so watered down. It's catering to the wants of people
Yes,
now instead of the need.
yes,
And it breaks my heart because I love God so much that it hurts
yes,
my feelings.
yes,
It literally hurt my feelings to the point where I am in tears when
yes,
I see people being constantly disobedient or contrary to the word or even when they mock the name of God and in the like on the pulpit.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
these things are hurtful to me. I don't like to see it, and it breaks my heart. So I can understand the pastors now, especially young pastors such as yourself, trying to continue in the will of God and lead
yes.
people as He has desired for you to do. That has to be a struggle sometimes, especially when people don't really want to do, according to the will of God, according to the word of God. They want to do what they want to do, and they want you to be okay with it.
And I told my church, and my church, they know me by now. Even the new people know me. I tell them all the time, I don't know where you've been, and I can't even tell you where you will end up or where you're going. But one thing I can tell you is that while you're here, the standard will never waver. It will
That's awesome.
never change. It will never change. And like that's why I appreciate, the bishop that I sit under. That's why I appreciate, my founding, my home church, which was the
Mhm.
Holiness Church. I appreciate that foundation because
Yes.
that foundation built who I am. And if
Mhm.
I had never learned the way that I learned. I mean, I came from the Holiness Church that didn't believe in going to the movies and going to dances and all that kind of
Yes,
great jazz.
that was
Turned
us.
down to the
Yes.
ankles with stockings on and a slip and something up underneath those. I came from a place where they just didn't allow every and anything to go on.
Hmm.
And I am the youngest pastor in my entire city. I have the newest church in my city. And I will not be named among those
Mm.
that are fly by nights. I will not be named among those
Wow.
that he's young, so he probably be preaching that new gospel over there, and that's why all the young people over there. Absolutely not. If
Hmm.
if the church leaves tomorrow, my assignment still is the same.
Yes.
It still is the same, and I'm gonna preach Jesus all the way, nothing less,
Hmm.
nothing less, nothing
Yes.
less.
Yes, yes, I love it. And one thing that I was speaking with another lady a couple of months ago, and then I tell people all the time, even at my church, um, there's something precious about understanding how to serve, being a servant first. And you
Yes,
can tell a person who has a servant's heart.
yes,
And then
yes.
I spoke with someone too, and they were like, "Well, if you're in the ministry and you're leading, you're supposed to be a servant first, right?" Yes, you are.
Yes,
You're supposed to be a servant first because how can you lead if you don't know how to serve?
that's it. That's absolutely
And
right.
I just feel like if you don't have a servant's heart, then you're not in position to lead people because they're not going to listen to you, first of
Ain't
all.
listening to you. Not
And
listening to you.
the one of the things when you were talking, it's clear that you have a servant's heart because one of the things that you said was, Lord, I don't have to do this. I'll go and sit in somebody else's church and sir, I'll do whatever you need me to do. I don't have to be in this position. That is the heart of a servant because you don't have to be standing in front of people. You don't have to preach long, extended sermons to appease the ears of people who believe that this is how it should go. You have the heart to say, Lord, if you think that I need to be taught some more, let me sit and you teach me.
Absolutely.
That is a servant's heart. And
Absolutely.
it's genuine. And those are the type of people actually that we need more of, especially now. This world is different.
It's different.
This world is very different, and people's thinking is different, and
Yes.
people's decisions are different, and people
Yes.
don't respect the house of God anymore, and they don't even respect leaders
That's it.
anymore. So it takes the genuine hearts of people who truly love God and truly are called
Yes.
according to his will and according to his purpose to lead and guide the people who are out here that need us, that needs that. And it's obvious that that is the heart that God has put in you. And
Yes.
I'm excited about it now. You did tell me, not on here, but we had some conversation, and you told me that you are an author and
Yes.
that you wrote a book.
Yes. Yes.
So can
Yes.
you tell us a little bit about your book, and first tell us what inspired you to write the book?
So my book is about the incident that I had on July the 16th of 2018. 2018. 2015. I'm sorry, 2015. Um, so I died on my living room floor, and when I died, um, I was with my god grandmother. And you'll read all of this in the book. Go, you got to get the book, and I'll tell you what the name of it is. But
Absolutely.
died on my living room floor, and it's a very much so short book, but as you read it, I purposely wrote it to make you feel like you are over the situation watching it while it's happening. I
Mm.
make you put your own child in that situation. I make you put your own self in those shoes. Very much so spiritual book. But my god grandmother, who is still alive to this day, 80 some years old, she was the one that resuscitated me. And it just there's a line in the book that states, as she began to press on my chest and do chest compressions, she was calling on the name of Jesus every time she pressed.
Mm.
And the book just kind of tells you, how life came back into me in that moment. It's an amazing book. It took me 11 years, almost 11 years this year to get it
Wow.
written. Um, it was a mindset of mine to do a long time ago, but it just kind of was like, now is just the time. Like, let's put it out. The title of the book is called The Last Breath. It
Mm.
is available currently on the Kindle app and Amazon. The Amazon will have you download the Kindle app. We are trying to get hard copies as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's just taking a little bit more time than we had planned to, but it is an amazing read, an amazing
Wow.
read. So I do ask, everybody that can go over get that book.
Yes.
It will bless you. It will bless you. It will bless you. This will be the first time that I announce it, and I will announce it here on your podcast that
Yay.
that I am considering writing a second book.
Yes. Do it.
Yes, it's going to be the story about life after death. I told my story about before death and death, but now I want to talk about life after death.
Mm.
And as far as how God took me from a dead state to a pastor, how he took me from a hospital bed to a pulpit, how he took me from
Oh,
a dead state to a
that's
speaking life state. So it's going to be an amazing read. I believe it's going to be
yeah.
amazing.
I'm
Um,
excited. I can't wait to get it.
yeah, I believe it's going to be an amazing read. But my true heart's desire is to help other young pastors. They might not have died. They may
Mm.
not have had the situation in which I did, but they have gone through something as a church plant, as a young pastor that other young pastors are gatekeeping about. How do
Mm-hmm.
I make it out of my financial situations when offerings are short but bills are big? How do I
Mm-hmm.
make it through those moments to overcome? Where do I find resources? Why do people gatekeep against those things to help other preachers and pastors that are trying to get where they are? I desire my solely heart's desire. I used to have a conference called Young Preachers Fellowship Conference. And it's where young preachers from all over would come together. No big eyes, no little U's, no your pastor, overseer, bishop, all that kind of. It was Young Preachers Fellowship. Whatever your title was, we came and we enjoyed Jesus together and were poured into together.
That's
And we talked about how to, build your bank and how to run the business side of ministry and different things of that sort. My soul heart desire is to pour into young pastors as a young pastor, not when I get 50, 60 years old. While I am 28, my heart is to go to a church plant and let them know this is what you need to do to get this off the ground.
that's good. That's good. I got some ideas stirring up already.
But
That's
yes, yes, that's my heart. That's my heart's desire. It's my heart's desire.
yeah. So in that being your desire, and I know you just said you've done the conferences.
Mhm.
Is there something that you're thinking of putting together, like something solid that will continue forth?
Well, right now, on April the 11th, I get elevated to the office of an overseer. Um, yeah, so there's a lot that is happening in my world currently, and that's going to add a new level of responsibility within itself.
Hmm.
So right now, my thing is I'm trying to build certain teams,
Hmm.
and as I build certain teams that can take a vision that I give and run with it. so
Mhm.
that we can have something continual that will very much so be in the works. It's just right now, like I said, we are a church plant, so we're a growing church plant.
Yeah.
Um, and the Lord has forfeited us to purchase a new property. So,
Oh.
so we have a new building, and currently we are under renovations as we speak. Um, Mind you, we're under renovations, and pastoral anniversary is next month,
Oh.
which is which. So it's cutting it very very close. So there's just a lot of, I'm not going to say stressors that are taking place, but that's what primarily it is. It's been a lot of stress and things happening in that way. But I believe that when we come out of all of this,
All
we'll
of
end up in a far better place.
Oh gosh, this is awesome. It's so amazing. And I'm so excited about this connection because I know that something more is coming out of this. This is
Yes.
not just your normal podcast tonight.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
just believe that this has built a connection, I think, that will continue forward in both our journeys.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
excited to continue following you, to see what God continues to unfold for you in your life,
Yes.
and to share our church family with you, and then vice
Yes.
versa. So
Yes. Yes.
definitely, and I definitely have to get you for some book signings. So
Okay. Okay.
we got to get some
Okay.
book signings together.
I
So
do. I honestly believe that book, after it being wrote, there were many people, of course, that I had to ask that were actually there.
mhm,
Um, and there are many people that are featured in the book. I didn't really use their real names, but for publication purposes. But it's a real life story. There were no additives. There were nothing to fluff it up. What
mhm,
you read was the actual raw story of what took place. There's a very spiritual moment in that book that entails how my home pastor came, and she came to the hospital once she got the news, and I was on a ventilator at the time. Wasn't even breathing on my own. Nobody knew what took place. Nobody knew what happened. And she told everybody to leave the room. And she didn't have any oil on her in her pocketbook. She was just coming from a service. She took the sweat off of her forehead and anointed. I'm talking about the holiness pastor now, the one with the
mm,
wood floors, long
yes,
skirts.
gotta
I'm
be,
talking about
gotta
that
be.
pastor. She came in, took the sweat off of her forehead, and anointed my body with it, left out of the room, and they had to bring ice packs and put them close to my body because my body had heated up too fast.
Mm,
It's an amazing spiritual story, and
wow.
I have all the doctor paperwork to prove exactly what took place. Um, my heart doctor was a believer. He is a believer, and
Uh-huh.
so he said, "Hey, I heard you sing. I remember this vividly." He said, "I heard that you sang." He said, I want you to sing the song that everybody keeps on raving about, that you sung on Facebook right before this happened. I had learned and sung a song for Facebook Live 2 days, 3 days before this took place. And I was getting wheeled back into surgery so that they could put a defibrillator in, the youngest person they ever put a defibrillator in on. And he said, I want you to sing that song for me. And they had, of course, the vent and stuff down my throat. I couldn't breathe for myself, so my voice was all types of
Uh-huh.
nasty. And he tried to make me feel good, talking to him, "You sound so good." And I know I did. But it was the fact that he wanted me to bless people that possibly did not believe who God was.
Wow. That is amazing.
Yes,
So how
yes.
old were you when you died
I
on this?
had just turned 18. I had turned 18 on July the 4th, and this transpired on July the 16th.
Mm,
So what? That's 12 days after my 18th birthday.
wow. And it was just a all of a sudden thing. I know this is in the book, and we're
No,
not gonna.
this is great. This is great. The night before, I had been experiencing, like, my heart was just kind of like racing a little bit, and like it was like fluttering, so to speak. But it was beating so fast and so hard that I could see the imprint, like, on the outside of my chest.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't think nothing of it. I've never had heart problems. I was a young, healthy 18-year-old boy, never had any health issues. So I said, well, if I'm not better by tomorrow, I'll go to the doctor. And my god grandmother, she was like, well, is your blood sugar high? So she was checking that, pricking every finger she could, and hooking me up the blood pressure cups and all that. And everything was normal.
Hmm.
Um, and so I said, well, if I'm not better by tomorrow, I'll go to the doctor. And so I Went, laid down, slept, woke up the next day, um, still feeling a little bad. Went, got in the shower, and boom, I got dizzy, got lightheaded.
Mm.
And so I kind of got myself together, put on my clothes, and I was going to go lay down because I got dizzy. And something said, no, Cheek, go in the living room with everybody else. Don't go to your room. And at that time, I didn't know it was God talking or nothing like that. Something just
Mhm.
said, go in the living room with everybody else. Don't go lay down. Had I went to lay down, I would have shut my door and I would have died in my sleep. But I went in the living room. There were two CNA. There was one CNA, one PCA, my god grandmother, and the people that lived within the house. And when I passed out, they said that they thought that it was a seizure. They thought that I was joking. I was a big jokester. They said it just appeared that you were having a seizure, but we thought that you were playing at first. And then he was like, "No, something's really going on." And we got you down to the floor. The CNA didn't touch me, even though they were CPR certified. The
Mhm.
PCA didn't touch me, even though they were CPR certified. A 70, late 70s, 79, 80-year-old woman gets on that floor on her knees and starts chest compressions while on the phone with 911.
Mm.
And she began to say, he's foaming out the mouth and different things of that sort. And she said, you just keep on doing chest compression. The ambulances are on their way. Ambulances begin to come in, and I've met every last one of them that came out that day. But they began to come in, and we made the newspaper. The newspaper came out and did their interview as well. Pretty sure if we could find the actual excerpt, but um, they came strolling in, was not making haste, was not rushing to the call. And she looked up and she said, well, why are y'all taking so long? And they were like, you're the only thing that can help him at this point. They said he's been gone longer than 15, longer than 20 minutes. If
Wow.
he comes back, he's a vegetable. So it's up to your discretion if you decide to keep on going.
Mm.
And sure enough, she kept on going, and boom, it had 25 minutes. Ambulance had taken over. They were trying everything they could to get me back, shocked me back to life 3 times. Clear, boom, clear, boom, clear, boom. And before that fourth clear, they said, hold up, we got a pulse.
Mm.
Rushed me out the door, was going to take me to Randolph Hospital. Randolph Hospital was where they were going to pronounce me. But then they got me in the back of the ambulance, still working, and they said, oh, we got a faint pulse. We're taking him to Cone, and shipped me right there.
Wow.
And the feeling that my mom had felt in that moment, not being there,
Yeah.
getting a call that your son has died. The only son that know who God is has died.
Mm.
I
Wow.
don't not believe ever that a mother plans to ever bury their children.
Right.
They are in the belief system that a child is supposed to bury them.
Hmm.
So I could imagine the emotion that that woman felt to know that a piece of her legacy had died before she was able to, thinking that God had pulled one on her. And she was not in the church. She was not a believer. Like, she knew who God was. She was in the church heavy, then she got out of the church. So to feel the emotion, the anger in which she felt,
Mm.
like God that betrayed me. Um,
Wow.
and to fast forward to this day, she is one of the mothers of my church who serves every Sunday, is saved to the bone.
Mm.
Like, it's just amazing how God has flipped this script, and now I can sit back and just chuckle about what He has done and what He has created.
Yes. That is awesome. How long did it, from them bringing you back and you making it to Cone, and then that recovery period, how long did it take for you to get back to yourself
So I
again?
was on a ventilator for 3 days. I was in the hospital for a total of 10. Um, and for those 3 days, I didn't even know that I was out or in the world. Um, it's like I don't remember me even passing out on the couch and having a seizure. I didn't remember none of that. But um, I, at that point, gained big faith. So I told them, I said, y'all not putting me in a wheelchair and rolling me out of this hospital. I said, I'm going to walk out. And sure enough, they said, well, it's hospital protocol that um, we can't let you walk out. We have to roll. And I said, well, you roll me out to a certain point. And I said, and I'm going to walk the rest of the way just so that I can let the devil know
Mm.
that he gets no
Lost again.
victory. And sure enough, I walked. They stopped at a certain point and let me walk the rest of the way. Um, Physical therapy came out to the house. Old man came out to the house to see me for physical therapy. And he was like, okay, we're going to take a walk down the driveway. He was still coming down the porch. I was at the driveway, circling back to come back to the porch. I said, sir, I don't believe I need physical therapy. I believe you do. And he did not come back. He did not come back after that. He said, I'm going to sign you off. He said, you look like you are coming around pretty well. He says, you got your sense of humor. Everything looks okay. There was no I was able to walk. I was able to talk. I'm a preacher. I was able to have children. Um, they did say that one thing would transpire, and that would be I would have, some memory loss situations. And that is something that was very true. I did have a little bit of memory loss, certain things that I couldn't remember, and I still deal with that to this very present moment in time. Um, I have just some vague memory loss, and it seems as though as the older I get, the worse that it progresses. But as long as I can still write in my iPad, I'm
Mm.
gonna get up every Sunday and preach this word
Yes,
and still fulfill my
I
assignment.
know that's right.
The song in which I had I had learned it in a day, and I had got on Facebook Live to sing it, and I sung it on my way back to or through the hospital. Was by what's his name? Zacardi Cortez, and it went, "Let
Oh,
your power fall
oh, that's my song.
when your name is called. Prove
Yes,
the doubters wrong, 'cause you're still mighty and you're strong. And fight this battle for me and help my unbelief so I can tell all my friends that you have won again." And sure enough,
yes.
God did exactly that.
Oh my gosh. So
Exactly.
it's you learned that and you sang it. It's almost like he prepared you
Yes, yes. And
for what was gonna happen.
I'm not sure, but I believe that video is still on Facebook to this day. To
Mm.
this day. I learned that song, and 2 days later, it's like boom. And for me to come back, get my phone, and to look on my Facebook page and see all these people saying rest in peace. Seeing all these people saying, not this one, not like people were sincerely hurt
Mm.
because of what had transpired and what they were hearing.
Mm.
Um, Fast forward, and I got out of the hospital, went home. They wouldn't let me go to they wouldn't let me go to the church house the next Sunday. Oh, I was upset. So, because I had just got that defibrillator put in, so I had some open wounds and different things like that. I was the smallest and the youngest person they had ever put one in on, so they couldn't put it in my chest. They had to put it underneath my arm on my side.
Mhm.
I went to the church house maybe a couple Sundays after that. I said, I'm going to church. Went to the church house a couple Sundays after that. The church was slammed packed. I mean, they had to open up the part that they only have to open up during anniversary time.
Wow.
Slam packed. You would have thought that it was a funeral there. That's how packed it was. But people were just coming to witness the miracle in which God
Mm.
had done.
Mm, mm, mm.
Oh my gosh. My
My
home
God.
pastor, and this video is on Facebook as well. Me and my home pastor were standing in the middle of the floor, and we sung this song that I just sung. We sung that song together.
Mm.
Um, Very much so spiritual moment. That was a Sunday to remember, most definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What a mighty God we serve. You have won again. I
Again,
love
again,
it. You have won
again.
again. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. And what a story. What a story. And what a powerful young man. And I say young man because I'm, twice your age. So I say, what a powerful young man. And I am just excited. I'm truly excited about what God, not only what he has done for you, but what he's getting ready to do.
Yeah,
All the wonderful things and how he's getting ready to put you in position to build our young people,
yeah.
our young pastors. My son is a youth pastor
Hmm.
and well, he's a youth minister. And to have young ministers and young pastors out there like such as yourself, when I say that is what's necessary now, that is
Yes,
100% what's necessary now because honestly, our young people are listening better now than the older ones.
absolutely.
Um, and so when they see people on their level and who can walk like them and talk like them and understand the things that they're dealing with, that sets such a positive tone for them and it pushes them to continue moving forward. So I commend you for standing up in Christ and for allowing Christ to stand up in you to
Thank you.
move forward, even past everything that you've had to endure since 18 years old, since even before that in college
Yeah, yeah.
and all that good stuff. So I commend you for that. And I'm so excited for your life
Yes,
and
thank
your
you.
journey. And I definitely want to stay connected so that I can see everything that God is unfolding in your life.
Thank you so much.
So I'm so happy. And so you got to tell people before we close out, tell people where they can find you. Um,
So you can find me, if we're talking about social media standpoint, you can find me on TikTok, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram, Phillip Cheek. Um, If you want to find me physically, I am at the Revelation Church every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. That is 810 Depot Street, Ramsey, North Carolina. Um, we call it the Revelation Church because the Lord spoke to me and He said, "You will be the one that house a hub for revelation." And so that's where we got the name from, the Revelation Church. Every Sunday you come, we are giving you revelation of God's word. We don't only tell you about Jonah and the whale. We tell you about how you gonna make it out of the well that you're in right now. So
awesome.
come see me,
Awesome.
come check us out. We a little small church doing big things, and we're grateful for what God is
That
doing.
is awesome. Such a blessing. And what about your book? Tell them again where they can find your book and the name of it. And of
Yes.
course, I'm going to post a nice big picture when we post this podcast so that everybody can see what that looks like.
Okay. Yes. So it is called The Last Breath. It is available on Amazon or the Kindle app. It's The Last Breath by Phillip Cheek. You can go and it's available for you to get a digital book currently. Hard copies are not out yet, but we are working to get them out to you.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I truly appreciate you for being on the show tonight. I am
Oh, very
so
welcome.
excited.
Oh, very
Um,
welcome.
I'm going to look you up on social media as well. I'm going to
Okay.
share and I'm going to encourage everyone else to share as well because I just know I can feel, even within my spirit, I can feel that God is getting ready to move, do big things through you. And I want to be connected to that.
I
And
receive
so
that. I
I want to
receive that.
encourage everyone else to also stay connected to that as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.